Poor Yamcha. Only thing more pathetic than a loser is a loser who thinks he's born to win.
Hello there, beautiful friends from around the world. I'll be your host, Blackenfist. Yamcha is a character that does get a lot of flack in the series. He's someone who I guess fans don't like a lot, but unlike characters like Krillin, who also get a lot of flack, I do believe that most of the things that are said about Yamcha are justified. So why are people so harsh on Yamcha? Well, it's because of these 10 moments. So these are Yamcha's top 10 epic fail moments. Number 10. When Yamcha gets eliminated from the tournament in BoJack Unbound. Now, here we have Yamcha just chilling and nonchalantly just like, I guess, taking a nap while the tournament is going on. Now, that would be, I guess, okay, but it's the reason why. He's doing it because he feels like he has no chance. And because of that, he's not even going to feel like trying. Now contrast that to Krillin, who actually is going out there, and even though probably isn't going to beat the stronger guys in a tournament, he at least is trying his very best to try to stay in there. Unlike Yamcha, who seems to just be nosying off there, but what really makes it is that when he slips off this, I guess, pole thing, he slips off and it falls into the water. But wait a minute, Yamcha, you can fly. You can fly. And then when he pops his head out back of the water, he seems disappointed. Well, Yamcha, if you were disappointed, if you actually cared about getting eliminated, maybe you should have tried in the first place. Number 9. I always found this moment quite funny. So Yamcha buys a brand new, hyper turboed up, souped up car, right? And of course he's bragging about it to Puar, and he couldn't wait to show it to Bulma. But what happens? He loses control and crashes his own car. It kind of reminds me of another moment when Yamcha is at the wheel and loses control in the Boo saga. But hopefully 18 saved everyone. But this one's worse because he actually had his whole little ego invested in the car, and then afterwards, everyone just laughs at his misfortune. Number 8. And now this one is a personal favorite of mine. Mr. Popo pretty much owns him. Yamcha, Krillin, and Tien, Shinhan, and Chaozu are all on the lookout training. They feel they aren't making progress, so Yamcha protests to Mr. Popo. Mr. Popo pretty much tells them, "You're not ready, you don't know enough yet, there isn't much I can say to you because you just know so little." But this is when Mr. Popo says the line that puts this moment on this list.
Don't give us that rubbish! How can we not know ourselves? I know myself better than anybody!
Oh, is that a fact? So you know yourself, do you? How come you don't know that you are weak?
Oh! Would you like to prove that? You beach ball!
And this might be the best single verbal insult that anyone gave Yamcha. Number 7. Yamcha fails to steal the Dragon Balls. We're going way back, and this is actually one of my more favorite moments in the entire series, because it's actually very funny. Yamcha, when he was still a desert bandit, was trying to steal the Dragon Balls that Bulma and Goku had collected. So he sets up a little plan where Puar will disguise himself as Bulma to try to lure Bulma out of the van so that Yamcha can come in and swipe him. Keep in mind though, this is when Yamcha was still afraid of women and would probably lose control if he ever saw a beautiful one or perhaps one naked. So when Puar lures Bulma, or what he thinks Bulma, out of the van, it's actually not Bulma, it's Oolong disguised as her. So when Yamcha comes in thinking that he's found the Dragon Balls, he didn't. He actually found Bulma. And the scene was quite funny. So I put this here because it was not just one of the most funniest moments in Dragon Ball for me, but also he failed to steal the Dragon Balls from them. Even after all that planning, Bulma and Goku are both asleep, so no one is in his way besides Oolong. He still couldn't do it because Oolong tricked him And at the end of the day, Yamcha got freaked out that he saw some boobs. Number 6. Getting nearly killed by Dr. Gero. Yeah, when the androids first showed up, guess who's gonna be the cannon fodder for them? This isn't the first time Yamcha has been used as cannon fodder for new villains. In fact, this has happened quite a number of times before this moment. If there's any moment which demonstrates Yamcha's failure more than any other cannon fodder moment, is probably this one. This tradition of Yamcha losing to new characters started all the way back in the first tournament arc when he lost to Jackie Chun. And since then, Yamcha pretty much has not gotten out of that role. Toriyama continually used him for that. But never has someone actually caused Yamcha to go near death in the process of this. Now, to Yamcha's credit, the androids were a lot stronger than him. But once again, I'll have to say, you don't see Krillin getting almost killed by the androids as soon as they meet. Number 5. Getting killed by the Saibamen. Yeah, classic moment. How could this not be on the list? Yamcha actually fares pretty well against the Saibaman at first. But as usual Yamcha, he gets cocky, overconfident, and lets his guard down and gets himself in a lock, which is deadly. But what really makes this moment for me is that he got killed by Saibamen. Something that Tien, Shinhan, Piccolo, and Krillin were able to dispose of pretty easily, especially Krillin. Krillin, which was able to kill multiple Saibamen in one blast, while Yamcha gets killed by one of them. Yamcha pretty much gets killed before the fight with the Saiyans even starts. And once again, I must say, Krillin sure is doing a lot better in these moments, isn't he?
It's over.
Oh no!
Number 4. Losing to Kami. True, Yamcha wasn't horribly beaten, he wasn't horribly killed or anything like that. But I really do put this moment here because this once again just shows Yamcha's weakness. It shows his cockiness, it shows his overconfidence, and it shows him constantly putting his guard down. With Kami disguised as a normal human, a clumsy one at that, Yamcha thinks he has the fight in the bag, so he puts his guard down for the first half of the fight. When he realizes that the opponent he has actually knows what he's doing, it's too late by that point. I also might add that Yamcha uses one of his new techniques, the Spirit Ball, in this fight, and of course, it fails. But you know, what really puts this moment on this list is that he got hit in the balls. Number 3. Getting owned by gravity. Oh yeah, this is a classic moment. A moment that could just not be on this list. So, with Veagta now introduced in the series, Veagta actually takes his training quite seriously, and he's in pretty intense training. In contrast, Yamcha seems to be in pretty chill training. He's training, but it doesn't look like he's actually pushing himself to new limits. But when he sees Veagta, I guess Yamcha starts to feel like he needs to compensate for something and prove himself to Veagta. So in order to do that, he goes straight into the gravity chamber and goes straight to 300 times gravity. What a great idea. This to me actually demonstrates another of Yamcha's flaws. The biggest one here as a character is that it seems that Yamcha wanted a shortcut. You know, it's one thing for Yamcha to get owned by gravity, and although the moment is funny, it's one thing to get owned by gravity, get owned by it, then realize that you took on too much, and then gradually try to work yourself up. You know, maybe Yamcha goes into 20 times gravity since he was already on King Kai's planet. Maybe he goes up to 30 and then 50 and stuff like that. that would have actually have showed that Yamcha at least has some sort of really hard work ethic. But the way it is that he tries once, all at once, 300 times, and then just basically gives up. So that really, I think, is the failure here for Yamcha. It's an internal one. And of course, he just concedes to Vegeta immediately.
Simulation terminated. Normal gravity restored.
Number 2.
Is that it? Don't get me wrong, I appreciate the massage. For someone who doesn't speak pain, you sound very fluent.
Tien owns him in every possible way. This moment, well actually it's a couple moments, this list could have almost been entirely from the second tournament arc where Tien Shinhan is introduced and just verbally assaults him physically, mentally, and then breaks his own leg. I mean, there is so many things that Tien does to Yamcha here. This moment honestly was in the contention for number 1 and only barely lost. So what did Tien do? Well, like Mr. Popo, he insults him. But come on, this is number 2. What else does he do? Well, he also breaks his leg. And while some people were saying that this is an awesome Yamcha moment, which is true, this is probably the best fight Yamcha's in. However, I could not possibly put this on Yamcha's awesome moments because Tien just owns him. I mean, I think the biggest insult to Yamcha in this moment is that when he unveils his new technique. He says, yeah, I got a new technique for you guys. This is, Dragon Ball, where when some character unveils a new technique, it's a big thing. This is gonna do some damage. Well, what does Tien Shinhan do? He freaking stands there, tanks it, and says, what, is that it? Is that all? Is that all you got, man? Maybe some people will not agree with me here, but I just think that is probably one of the biggest insults you can do to a Dragon Ball character. Is to first of all tank their Kamehameha, then tank the new technique that they're introducing in the series for the very first time. But once again, it's not just that. Yamcha loses the match. Not only does he lose, Tien doesn't even go easy on him and breaks his own leg, in which his broken leg is continued on to the next arc, the Demon King Piccolo arc. So yeah, Tien, man, he sure messed him up in this one. Number 1, losing Bulma to Vegeta. Now, I said number 2 was actually in contention for number 1, and it actually was going to be number 1, but I actually forgot one critical detail of this moment. This moment originally was, just losing Bulma, and I said, well, losing Bulma to me isn't enough for it to be number 1, so I had Tien in the lead, but I forgot one very critical detail. It was to Veagta that he lost her to. Veagta, the guy who inadvertently had a hand in killing him. Veagta, who pretty much insulted him all the time. Veagta, the guy who he felt inadequate to and tried to prove himself by going into 300 times gravity, which was number 3, and he pretty much conceded to him. Yeah, that guy. So with that in mind, this moment definitely goes to number 1. But you could have almost have seen this coming a million miles away. I mean, throughout the series, the relationship between Yamcha and Bulma was never portrayed in the most positive light. So, you would figure that them breaking up wouldn't be a big spectacle. But to Veagta, now that's something that just adds salt to the wounds. And I have a feeling that perhaps, maybe it was this moment that just sent Yamcha into a pitiful and pretty pathetic retirement in the Buu saga. But anyway guys, those are my top 10 moments for Yamcha. And I can actually quite honestly see why so many people give him so much slack. Yeah, Yamcha has failed us before. Do I really dislike Yamcha? Well, not really. I mean, I think Yamcha was actually pretty cool in certain moments, hence my most awesome moments, which you can check out. So I really don't hate Yamcha. I think that his flaws sometimes make him a bit more interesting. Sometimes they make him annoying, but I don't really hate Yamcha. I think he's a cool character sometimes. But I really want to point your direction to another list, Quaman, who has made the top 10 epic fail moments for Mr. Satan. So if you want to check out another character who isn't viewed in such a good light by the fans, go check that list out in the description. But anyway guys, that has been my list for today. And maybe you guys can tell me some other moments. I know there are other moments out there for Yamcha, so I'm pretty sure you're going to tell me in the comments. But as always guys, I'm Blackenfist, and I'm out.